You clicked on this video for a reason. Maybe you've heard the name Jeff Bezos 1,000 times. The man behind Amazon, the billionaire who went to space, the guy people love to admire or criticize. But deep down, you click because you're curious about something more. What really goes on inside the mind of Jeff Bezos? How did a quiet boy from Albuquerque build one of the most powerful companies in history, and in doing so, reshape the very way humanity shops, works, and even dreams? By the end of this video, you won't just understand Bezos. You'll start to see how his way of thinking could change the way you live, work, and make decisions forever. Jeff Bezos wasn't born rich. He was born curious. From a young age, he was obsessed with building things. As a child, he would turn his garage into a laboratory, taking apart radios, machines, and anything he could find, not because he wanted to destroy them, but because he needed to understand how they worked. That curiosity, that unstoppable need to know, became the foundation of everything he built later in life. It's easy to say Bezos is a businessman, but the truth is, he's an engineer of human systems. He doesn't just build companies. He builds the future piece by piece, idea by idea, system by system. In 1994, he was working at a high-paying hedge fund in New York. He had everything: comfort, prestige, security. But one day, he stumbled upon a statistic that changed his life. The internet was growing at 2,300% per year. Most people saw numbers. Bezos saw destiny. He knew he'd regret it forever if he didn't try. So he quit his job, packed everything into an old car, and drove across the country to Seattle with his wife, writing his business plan along the way. No investors, no team, no guarantee, just a dream, and a relentless belief that the internet would one day connect every human being on Earth. Amazon didn't start as the massive empire we know today. It began as a simple online bookstore in a garage. But Bezos had a vision far bigger than books. He didn't see Amazon as a store. He saw it as the ultimate machine for customer satisfaction. While other businesses focused on profits, Bezos obsessed over the customer. He famously said, "We're not competitor-obsessed, we're customer-obsessed." Every decision, from fast delivery to endless product choices, was designed around one simple question: what's best for the customer? And that philosophy became the DNA of Amazon, a company that doesn't just sell things but reshapes expectations of what service means. But what really separates Jeff Bezos from the rest isn't just ambition, it's his mindset. He calls it the Day One philosophy. In his world, every day must feel like the first day of a startup. Fast, agile, full of energy, full of hunger. The moment a company starts feeling like it's in Day 2, it begins to decline. Day 1 means always being curious, always taking risks, and never being comfortable with success. And that's the secret most people miss. Bezos doesn't live for comfort. He lives for creation. He believes that comfort kills innovation, and that's why Amazon keeps reinventing itself every single year, even when it's already number one. But of course, every visionary faces resistance. The media called him ruthless. Competitors called him unfair. Employees called him demanding. And yet, behind that intensity lies a deeper purpose, a belief that humanity's potential is endless if we dare to push beyond our limits. When people said Amazon couldn't survive the dot-com crash, Bezos smiled. While others cut costs, he invested in infrastructure, building the very systems that would make Amazon unstoppable years later. He wasn't playing the short game. He was building a future that would outlast him. Let's pause for a moment. Ask yourself, how many people do you know who are willing to trade comfort for creation? How many are willing to build something that might not pay off for 10 or 20 years? Jeff Bezos built Amazon not for quick money, but for long-term transformation. His favorite question wasn't, "What will make us money now?" but, What won't change in the next 10 years? And the answer was simple. Customers will always want low prices, fast delivery, and reliable service. That insight became Amazon's eternal compass. But Bezos' ambition didn't stop with e-commerce. Once he had revolutionized how we buy things, he set his eyes on the stars, literally. In 2000, he founded Blue Origin, a private space company with a mission far bigger than tourism or rockets. Bezos believes humanity's future depends on expanding beyond Earth. He envisions a world where millions of people live and work in space, where Earth becomes a protected garden, and industries move to the stars. People mocked him for spending billions on space travel, but in his mind, it's not about escaping Earth. It's about preserving it. He once said, "We need to go to space to save Earth." It's not science fiction. It's long-term thinking at its purest form. So what drives him? Power? Money? No, it's the thrill of building. The joy of solving impossible problems. The deep satisfaction of taking an idea that shouldn't exist and making it real. That's why Bezos often says, "We're willing to be misunderstood for long periods of time." Because innovation doesn't come from being liked, it comes from being relentless. Behind his calm smile lies a brain wired for systems thinking. Every choice he makes, from logistics to pricing to hiring, follows a framework of cause and effect. He doesn't think in months or years, but in decades. While most companies plan quarterly, Bezos plans for the next generation. And that's why Amazon, despite criticism, continues to grow, adapt, and dominate. But here's the part most people don't see. Jeff Bezos isn't just building companies, he's experimenting with human potential. He believes the same principles that made Amazon great, curiosity, courage, and patience, can make any person successful. In his annual letters to shareholders, he often gives advice that sounds less like business talk and more like philosophy. Be stubborn on vision, but flexible on details. Work hard, have fun, make history. If you're not failing, you're not innovating enough. These aren't just slogans. They're blueprints for progress. And maybe that's why people both love and fear him. Because he reminds us of what's possible when someone refuses to think small. He shows us that the greatest risk isn't failure, it's mediocrity. Bezos once said he doesn't want to die thinking, "What if I had tried?" That single thought has driven every major decision in his life, from quitting his stable job, to launching Amazon, to chasing the stars. Imagine having that level of conviction. Imagine waking up every day knowing you're building something that will outlive you. That's not just business, that's legacy. And that's why, whether you admire him or not, you can't ignore Jeff Bezos. Because he's teaching us that the world doesn't belong to the smartest people. It belongs to the most determined. But here's the real question. What's inside your mind? When you finish this video, what will you build? What idea will you chase even if people call you crazy? Because every great story starts the same way, with someone who refused to stop dreaming. Jeff Bezos didn't know Amazon would become what it is today. He only knew that if he didn't try, he'd regret it forever. Maybe that's the lesson we all need, to start something now, no matter how small, and let time, courage, and passion do the rest. So the next time you order a package, look at the Amazon logo, that arrow from A to Z, and remember, it's not just a smile. It's a symbol of a man's obsession with possibility. A reminder that every great innovation starts in the mind of someone who dares to think differently. And if you're watching this right now, maybe that person is you. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mind of Jeff Bezos, don't forget, this channel is built for thinkers like you. Stay curious, stay hungry, and never stop building your own future. Subscribe, and let's keep exploring the genius behind the people who are shaping our world, one bold idea at a time.